Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I am here. I'm your host, Ian Carlos Crawford, and I'm here with blogger and PhD student
Ashley K. Smalls.
Hi, Ashley. So you are one of the biggest Marvel MCU stans I know. So I wanted you to be here for us to do Spider-Man No Way Home trailer reaction. Yeah, I guess we'll hit play and we can talk a little bit what we think about it. So, oops, of course I just lost it. There we go. All right, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
All right, 1, 2, 3. I gotta say, even like hearing the music gives me like, I'm like, oh.
Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize.
Do you like him and Zendaya together? Because I think they have really good chemistry.
Oh, I love them. Especially the look into their very real relationship. Or who knows, maybe they're still playing with, but I love them together.
Yeah, I think they just have like really good chemistry.
The drones did. The drones that are yours.
So when I watched that part where they're like interrogating him, I was like, man, if Tony Stark were around, he'd be like, get out of here. It's fine.
Exactly. He would have like, excuse you,
Yeah.
we'll just we'll buy the police department naturally. Yeah. We'll fire everyone and then they can't do anything, period.
Right? Like he would have fixed that in 2 seconds. But I do feel bad for my little spider son. I
do too. It's like, damn, all the OG Avengers is dead, and now this is what he's going through. It's like,
right? It's like they would have been a help now.
It's like, really? You left him out here like this?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir. Please, we saved half the universe together.
Okay, can we talk about this fit? That's
right.
Can we just?
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
I love that his it's like still the color scheme of his normal outfit, but like a puffy coat.
I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Strange. Don't cast that spell.
Did you know that this is what they were going to do? I didn't know that.
I didn't. I thought it was going to be very like strange attacking Peter, if I'm being honest. I thought it was going to be like some next shit. Like, like everyone, like no one's believing what he said. I didn't know they were going to go down this path, but yeah. I mean, it's an even better storyline.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then here go Peter messing up the spell.
Can't stop talking, but I relate. It all looks really cool too.
It does. It does.
I also oh, go ahead.
I was just thinking like Strange is finally, between his movie and then we basically get him in Infinity. And do we get him in Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in Endgame. Like we always see him using his powers for like business, and now it's like, I'm gonna use my powers to help this kid, because that's what the Sorcerer Supreme does.
So there's the Green Goblin's thing, and that's clearly Willem Dafoe's laugh, right?
Yeah. And then before that was the Thunder. So Electro is definitely here, and they're giving us a look at an actual villain.
Hello, Peter.
That shit gives me the chills of Doc Ock being like, hello, Peter, like all casually.
I think, you know what my first thing was? Because he knows another Peter. And, him seeing Tom Holland's Peter, and I was like, it's very obvious, like, hey, you got the suit, so we know who you are. But it's also like this sort of look on his face, like, oh, so you're this version's Peter. Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I wasn't sure what I thought about that, because it's like, he knows who he is, but maybe it's just because he's like, he knows
I don't know. It seemed like a very confident, like, yeah, you might be the one in front of me, but something's going on. I don't know. I'm being suspicious because I want certain things to be true. I'll admit it. I am a geriatric millennial. I need to see Tobey Maguire. I need it.
I feel like, I know that hasn't been confirmed, but I feel like this kind of confirms that, right?
I do. I am more convinced than ever that they're in it. And why would they show us that in the trailer? They shouldn't. That would be bad business.
Right.
But I am more convinced than ever. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way. You're telling me that coincidentally all the villains from different universes came, but none of the heroes? Okay.
I feel like the other Spider-Man, the other like, and fucking Andrew Garfield. I was like, Andrew Parker. No, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire might come in later, but they're going to come in.
Absolutely. I think To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if to the villains, it's not a surprise. Like, you know, like I feel like it's building up like oh, they're gonna come out of nowhere and start fighting. And I think I would not, you have, I mean, these aren't just your typical villains. This is a pretty smart group of people. I wouldn't be surprised once they realize where they're all from, what's going on, how they got here. 2 + 2 = goldfish. Like, oh, you know what? You know that other Peter somewhere around here. He might be a little older, but he's somewhere around here. I know he is. I feel like if any surprise, Doctor Strange might be the one to bring it in because we know his movie is around the corner as well. So
a thing I've been thinking about since the trailer came out 10 minutes ago, a thing I've been thinking about is what if like there are other villains that because like it almost feels like it could be like a multiverse Sinister Six. And that could be a way, like maybe there are like 3 other villains that like we haven't seen yet or we haven't even heard rumors about.
I mean,
that would be cool, right?
It's not like we don't have some other villains who are getting their own movies and things like that. So even though they may not be in this film, they're there. They're in a universe. And at this point, one universe, you know, it doesn't have to be the main timeline anymore. Right now, it's sort of like anything goes. But I mean, you want to know why else I'm a little caught off guard? Because I really thought what happened in Loki was going to tie into this.
Yes, I was going to ask you your thoughts on that because he messed up the multiverse, right?
Yeah. I would be, this is where I'm like, what if the surprise is strange? Because what if like we think it's Peter talking and we think it's something went wrong with the spell, but really it's something else is going on outside of this one incident that they're doing and they don't know it yet. So they're thinking it's this one secluded event, but it happens to be a coincidence. You know, like I'm absolutely spitballing. It's just like, we're not seeing a connection directly in the trailer, which I really did think we would. I thought, you know, it was going to be like, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched Loki. Don't know why you're watching this if you haven't, but just, I thought it was going to be very much like Sylvie killed Kang and now all hell is broken loose. We haven't gotten to Kang variants yet or something, but we got other things popping out. And somehow that was going to tie into Strange, you know, being in this movie. And instead we got Strange who's like, he's a little kid and he's, you know, he's having a hard time. I can do some, you know, abracadabra and make this shit go away. And again, I'm absolutely loving that storyline, but I'm just saying is that like with all that we've watched the past few months with these shows, I just find it like not realistic that somehow, some way it's not going to tie into it. I didn't know if they would like show Loki or anything, but I totally thought, that like we would see him in like MJ's and Zendaya swinging around, but like multiverse shit was like going, like chaos was happening in New York because of what happened in Loki. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering how because it's got to tie in, right? It has to. They messed it up in the show. So like, I don't know. What do you think? This is why I really do think like, even though the possible Toby, possible Andrew is going to be the big nostalgia moment, I really don't think it's the plot twist of the movie that people, you know, that it's the moment some of us are going to the theater for, maybe. Well, no, we would be going regardless, but it may be one of the big moments. But like, I really do think there's another plot twist in here tied to the shows. I really do. I think, especially with Multiverse of Madness, because it's not like they're going to find some happy ending to this where the multiverse is all closed up.
We know it can't. Yeah,
exactly. Between Scarlet Witch about to do some shit and, you know, the movie is literally going to be called Multiverse of Madness. I don't know what the conclusion to this will be, but I really don't think it's going to be, oh, we have to fix the spell. That just seems way too simple here. So clearly there's something else.
I almost hope, and I don't know, correct me if this has been confirmed, but I kind of would love if like Spider-Man was in Multiverse of Madness and like he was the one that's like not magical and is just kind of like the silly one who like, you know, can help them fight but can't do magic shit. I would kind of love if he's like there with Scarlet Witch and Loki and Doctor Strange. That would be kind of cool, right?
I mean, I'm all for Tom Holland popping up everywhere as much as possible, regardless of what the reason is. If it's just to be there standing confused because he doesn't know what's going on because they hid half the script from him, so be it. You know, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, it's not a secluded event. I mean, we really are getting to that point in Marvel where these standalone movies just can't really be standalone movies anymore. You know, it is a universe for a reason. And so, I mean, yeah, we have the confirmation of like Scarlet Witch and it's going to be this big battle, but like, I mean, with this already being a sort of like huge like surprise between, oh, so this is what ends up starting it, as far as we know, according to the trailer.
Right. Yeah.
You know, what ends up bringing Multiverse of Madness? Because I'm like, at this point, whatever's going on is affecting Spider-Man's life. Yeah. Like there's about to be multiple of you running around here. So I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a, you know, even if it's just a what's going on appearance, because like we still got this old Spider-Man walking around and the millennials like him more than me. So what is going on here? No shade to Tom Holland. We really do love you. This is really nostalgia. It really, really is. Okay. Like it really truly is just like, look, I remember I was about like 12 when Toby came out there doing the get on up. Like I need it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not you, it's me. When I get the one scene, we can go back to you being all there is. Okay, I'm cool with it. But my big thing from this is just like plot twists, and I don't know what it is really just yet. But I just know I did not watch 3 shows and like 2 more coming out for it to not tie in with the movie that's coming out at the end of the year. There's no way. Well,
and I do feel like they're leading towards being, because they would have cameos in the other movies, but it was kind of like we got the Avengers and like, all right, maybe there'd be like that when Loki turns into Captain America and Thor 2, but like that would be it. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that they're very much doing the comic book thing of like these characters know each other, they're interacting, like Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man's movie, Scarlet Witch is in like that feels very like true to comics to me, so I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big geek over it because that's the way it's supposed to work. You know, these are not characters that are like, you know, like Bucky has never been secluded only to Captain America's story, and about Falcon has never been secluded to his story and things like that. So people both getting their own stories, but like realistically, if there's some magic shit going on and Falcon's there and he sees it, you go down.
Like if he's in New York, he's gonna go downtown.
You know who like, and it always, you know, it's always a big criticism of it, right? Is that like Tony Stark is going up against this like really bad man. He doesn't have his suit, and it's like, dude, didn't you just fight with a bunch of like super powered? Like, can't Thor get down here in like literally 2 seconds and just wing wang boom and go back to like, you know? And I mean, we always just went along with it because like, oh, it's his movie, it's his time. But it's like from a sense, like, you know, the way the comics always worked is like, they ran into a pickle, go run over to Wakanda, like, hey, we need some whatever, and come on back. Like, it's like,
even if it's just like a quick cameo, they would still do that.
It would literally be a couple pages, but it's like you have this access and these resources. It's literally a universe. It's like, you know, and so it's just I know there have been some complaints because I remember when the filming was going on, everyone was like, it's not going to be Tom's movie. I think this trailer very much makes it clear it's still his movie. But we're going into a whole new thing now. Like we have thinking about also what's coming out has not even been filmed, you know, between like Fantastic Four and then inevitably X-Men. It's like they got to start changing the story up, like, because you know they kind of got away with it with Eternals and just like, hey, these really extra powerful beings who could have taken down Thanos, they're here and we're just gonna bring them in. So it's like they got to do some stuff to the story to make it make sense where these characters are coming in at. So it's like it'll still be his movie, but like, we're getting into that comic book of like, even if it's, I mean, think about Don Cheadle getting 2 minutes in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Emmy nominated, but great 2 minutes. But it's like, even if it's a short thing, you know, it's like that's how this universe works. You need War Machine for something for a quick second. Gollum. It doesn't make sense not to. So I'm absolutely loving it.
I wonder if like before, because like when they started, they didn't quite know what they were doing with their contracts. And remember, I feel like with Robert Downey Jr., they had to renegotiate like a bunch of times with him. So I wonder if now in like, you know, like Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Holland are famous, but they signed them when the shit was already had blown up. So they probably knew more like, great. And also you have to be able to appear in these movies, like in their contracts without having to pay them like, you know, $1 bajillion for a cameo. So I wonder if that's like helped them like moving forward. They like make sure all the actors have that in their contracts that like they will sometimes, you know, like you said, film a 2-minute role, but like, it makes sense and they'll do it. Cause I feel like they couldn't have afforded to have Chris Evans do shit like that. He wouldn't have been able. Him and Robert Downey Jr. They couldn't afford them in like a
Definitely
2 minutes.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Definitely not. Maybe Chris for some stuff. Chris was the type to like, oh, low-key wants to play me. Cool, I'm just gonna pop up and the amount of money to get Robert Downey Jr. to say one line, like you gotta like that's the budget. That's it.
yeah, that's
He
it.
showed
You're
up
done.
today. You now have to pay him $1 million. And then tomorrow, if you wanted to do stuff, it's another 10 million on top of that. But yeah, no, definitely. And I remember they was talking about that, like the long extended contracts and things like that. They were kind of moving away from, and as they're bringing in more characters, you know, that makes sense. You could be a huge player, a huge character in this universe, but maybe you're not, you know, even in a full, I know a big complaint in the Captain America community, in which I am a very big member of.
I had no idea.
Exactly. You know, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I do like Chris Evans. Never done anything creepy though, except for touch his beard, but I do like him. But you know, it's like a huge criticism that like he's in Captain America Civil War for like a much shorter time than his previous films, because kind of Avengers like 2.5, whatever. But like that is the reality of how the world is supposed to work. I do understand the complaints, but like that's how it is in the thing, because everything one person does, it is affecting these other characters. That's the whole point of a universe. So,
and that's what we love about it, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. That's what's supposed to kind of, you know, set it apart from, you know, just a thing that just gives you sequels after sequels, is that like it's not just a continuation of, you know, a story, but like all these stories that's going on in this one place, and how it's going to possibly bring up to these secret wars, no pun intended. But yeah.
You know, now that you're talking about that, I'm like, I keep thinking of like Sharon Carter, and there's someone else that I keep going back to that I'm like, they could be a Skrull too. So I'm like wondering if they're also planting those seeds like in these movies.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's still far away enough that, you know, it's not going to be too in your face, but like when it comes to that time, you know, will we be probably revisiting these movies like, oh crap, I didn't even realize? Absolutely. I think we will be. Especially at this point, you know, they're like working on 2025 stuff when we're getting to 2021. So it's just definitely like, we're going to be coming back to this, like something really that we thought was just like a quip or, you know, unimportant is going to be like this thing that stands out. And that's what I love about it. It gives you a reason to rewatch it over and over again. Yeah. Or maybe that's because I don't have a life, but.
All right. If you could pick one like wild cameo for this movie, what would it be? One that like, it's clearly not the bad guys we've kind of seen in the trailer already.
I mean, it's gonna have to be Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
I mean, that's the next story is gonna be Doctor Strange specifically. Like, yeah, it's awesome that he's in this, but this is really leading us into And I think it would be curious to see, you know, how the events of WandaVision, the events of Loki as well. I mean, I guess a Loki, I don't really see Loki appearing. I think he's off, you know, trying to get Owen Wilson to remember him. But like
he is confirmed for Multiverse of Madness though, is
yes,
he? Right?
Is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think, I mean, I think if nothing else, I feel like she'll be in the post credit. However, this thing ends up getting wrapped up, even if they don't only get to Scarlet Witch, but you know, say Doctor Strange comes to the conclusion of, I thought the spell was what, you know, messed everything up, but it looks like it's something else is going on. And then, you know, post credit scene of Scarlet Witch doing something or doing stuff, or maybe even Kang. But I personally think it's going to be Scarlet Witch, because I think Kang would be the big surprise in you know, Multiverse of Madness if he was going to pop up anywhere. So that would be the big one for me. Everyone's, you know, there's 3 Spider-Men running around, and you know, Wanda's like, have you seen some twins? Have you seen any twins? Yeah, I don't. Oh, Peter, there's more than one. Great. Have you seen any twins? I just.
She's like, I'll help later. I'm busy, but
yeah. Oh, you need help. Okay, well, I do too. So what do you want me to do? Because she's supposed to be like sort of evil, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I get it. I know there's a group of people who think she was evil in WandaVision. I get it. We're not going to get into that.
Right.
But you know, whatever that she is supposed to go really, really dark. And it's like, I don't see that transformation being completely a Multiverse of Madness. I don't know. I just, that's really, you know, something is a brewing, and I'm going to put it on the Nexus being who everyone's more familiar with. Because I know technically we have two walking around here, but
yeah,
I that's who I see. That's who I see.
You know,
Kang's too smart.
I was I was gonna say, I feel like, and now I feel like my want is lame, but I feel like this is how they'll bring in Deadpool. Like, I feel like that's how they're gonna get, like, somehow they'll either be that he is brought into this universe because of that, or like they like see his universe, and so that way he's allowed to exist in his universe. Because I think it would do the movie a disservice to get rid of all the other characters, because I do like Negasonic. I mean, she was like our first queer, like, Marvel hero. So I wouldn't want to get rid of those characters. I would like it to be able to be that, like, they exist, but like the MCU is aware of him. I don't know. That would be like, and with that, what was the name of that movie? Free Guy. The promo, remember, it was Deadpool and Cord watching it together. So I felt like that was them trying to like bridge the gap a little bit and like testing the waters almost. So Deadpool, and I'm not like a big Deadpool stan, I just think it would be cool.
I mean, I would be for it, especially, you know, I mean, we know that Deadpool 3 is coming out. It will be under the MCU. So they got to make that connection sooner rather than later. And I mean, with the stakes that we saw, it's MCU movie. There will be plenty of comedic, you know, relief, but can't get much better in comedy than Deadpool coming out of nowhere. Like, finally, you fucking figured out how to get me here. Like, no, let's stop playing around. Oh, this is for Peter Parker. And because no, y'all needed a way to bring in the other universe. I'm here now. What's up, Disney? Hey, mouse.
Right? That would be great. I would love it.
But that would be I would absolutely be here for it. I mean, the only thing I wouldn't want, they gotta leave the Storm that was playing, the young Storm. They need to leave her there. Everyone else can come. I don't care. Everyone else can come.
All of those X-Men, please.
Okay, please. Okay.
Later down the line, if we get like the X-Men and the MCU and they want to travel a different universe and they want to make those
there's
characters,
gotta be another Storm out there. One preferably, there's another one out there. You find her. I don't care what universe you need to pick her up.
But do not bring those characters into the MCU because
you had her making ice at a party. She needs to stay where she's at. Okay, I don't like that universe Storm. Don't bring her over here.
All right, Ashley, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.